Good evening, meatheads. We're going out for an evening stroll today. Just for a little bit of a different video instead of normal morning ones, so let's get her going. My fluid levels haven't changed at all. I've nearly got 500 miles on this, on the new fluids. 391.7, but I haven't seen anything transfer over from the transmission. I don't know. You know, I have a hunch, guys, and this is a pretty steep hunch, but bear with me here. I'm thinking that Harley's oil is not the weight that they say it is. Now, this is, again, a hunch, but see, look at that. That's super nice. But my feeling is that Harley's oil is maybe, or their, especially their transmission, is maybe not the 85 weight, or 80 weight I should say, that it claims to be. It's weird. I'd have to legitimately take the Bel Ray oil and do the little viscosity test, and which is literally put it on a ramp, see how fast it flows downward, and kind of compare. Because honestly, if my oil levels don't change in my transmission and I put on like 1,000 miles, I'm literally gonna be like, well, I got a freaking push rod. Well, the push rod actually hasn't shown up, which one of you guys asked me about it, if I had solved that issue yet. And the answer is I haven't had the time, or haven't had the part actually show up, which is really the biggest pet peeve I have right now, is the fact that the USPS has literally not given me any sort of idea when it will be here. Literally, I ordered it May 23rd. After ordering it, they had said, oh, it will be there roughly June 2nd and the 3rd. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. That'll be here right before I go to the Black Hills. That'll be great. Well, then it got into the hands of the United States Postal Service, and then they said, oh, actually it will be here on the 30th of May. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, perfect. 30th rolls by, and it hasn't even like left Michigan. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it'll be shipping later today, and it'll be here on the 2nd. Well, the 2nd and the 3rd rolled by, and still no push rod. And this is where I'm starting to get a little bit like, well, hopefully by the time we come back from the Black Hills, it'll be fine. Because after the Black Hills, I knew that I was going to have to get my oil changed, because I was already at like 4,000 something miles. So I knew I'd probably be putting on close to 1,000 some odd miles, and I'm running full synthetic, so really going over that 5,000 miles is not going to like kill the oil, or it's not going to just spontaneously cause my motor to just grenade itself or anything. So what I was like, well, hopefully like by the time I'm done with we're done in the Black Hills, I'll be back, it'll be there, and you know, I'll be able to install it right after I get my oil change, and then I'll never have to worry about it again. Well, as of today, which is June 29th, it is still saying in transit to next facility, and the last update was the 21st of June. It's like, fuck off, Postal Service. Jesus Christ. Like, and the thing is that bothers me the most is I have asked them repeatedly, like, hey, you know, we're where's it at? When can I expect it? Is it really that far delayed because of COVID? Or is it you guys lost it, you know? However, I will say, like I said at the beginning, I've already put 500, close to 500 miles on the new lubricants, the Bell Ray stuff, and I'm running the Bell Ray transmission fluid and the Bell Ray primary Bell Ray 2050 oil in the main engine. And so far I haven't seen it transfer, but you know, well, I'll give it time. I'll check it again. I'm trying to check it every 500 miles, make sure, like, okay, nothing's gonna sneak up on me now, is it? You know, like all of a sudden I go for a ride and I got no oil. Anyways, actually, how do you guys like the new views? I've got some different roads to ride now, not always the same ones. I'm still gonna make time to go out to my favorite stomping ground in the area, but you know, I feel like I've always gone there in videos, so you guys are probably getting sick of me doing that. So I'm trying to get new, fresher looks, because we moved about 15 minutes north of Sioux Falls, and I say 15 minutes via the interstate, which is 80 miles an hour. So we moved a distance away from the hustle and bustle of Sioux Falls. So God, it's so muggy. You can see it in the air. It's so bleh. What is it even? Oh, it's cooler than it was. It felt like it was like, pretty sure they said it was like 90 something earlier, so it's dropped a few degrees. I said to the wife that I was gonna go for a ride around Baltic. Well, I think I kind of went outside of Baltic right now. I'm a little bit south of Baltic now, so I don't think that was too nice of me to say that, but I wanted to make a video anyway, so it would have been kind of boring for me to be just tootling around a small town at 20 miles an hour. So it's also easier to talk and hand gesture and stuff while I'm going 65, 60 miles an hour instead of 20 and trying to just hold the same speed. Fireworks. I could go for a beer right now. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I miss my Dyna. Now I know that a lot, like everything in my bones and in my mind, right up in my noggin, say, Zach, the Road Glide has the newest engine from Harley. It makes more power right now than your twin cam did. Stage 1 to stage 1, this one probably makes way more power, even though it doesn't feel all the time as quick, but that's because it's got 200 more pounds of this, you know, so it's kind of easy for it to not feel as powerful or as quick when you're carrying an extra 200 pounds. But like at the same time, I just like, there was something about my Dyna, and I do like miss it, and I'm always thinking in my head, you know, if this house stuff gets bad, and bad, by bad I mean like it gets a little bit too expensive for me to have this bike while still trying to maintain the house. Like, the house is a 30-year commitment that I've signed on to with the wife, and reality is that whatever we pay in the mortgage is actually gonna build us equity. The bike gives me good miles per gallon, but in all reality it's always depreciating. It's a depreciating asset, whereas the house is a appreciating asset, you know. The more we pay on it, the more that it's, you know, worth to us. You know, we're paying off to own it, and then when we sell it, or if we sell it, you know, we get what we put into it back, basically, you know. But what I'm trying to get at, I guess, is that if push comes to shove and I have to get rid of the Road Glide because I can't afford the payments, dude, I want another Dyna. Like, I want to throw my leg over a Dyna again, because it's weird, because it really is an outdated platform, but there is something about it that it still hits me in a different place than the Road Glide does. Now granted, this bike can also be an, we'll say, investment, because whoo, that's a cliff. Because in my opinion, I can always make more power out of this bike, which I could do that with a Dyna as well. I'm not trying to say you can't, but the thing is with this bike is when I go and do a cam upgrade, I will easily be over 100 horsepower, and I have a cam sitting there waiting. But the thing that I'm also debating on as well is actually just saving up the money and buying a 124 kit as well to pair with that cam, because from what I've gathered from other people and what I've gathered from like Moonshine Harley Davidson, they have a touring sleeper build that they do. Is it's either a 124 or a 128, depending on if you have a 107 or a 114, and they pair it with the 475 cam, and it makes some monstrous amount of torque at like 2,000 RPMs. Like, it makes like 130 foot-pounds of torque at 1,900 RPMs, and it's like, yeah, that would be pretty fucking fun. Now granted, I'm not going to get those exact numbers because they're running a full system, full sack system with, I think, Chromeworks mufflers, and I'm running this drag pipe basically. So I'm not going to get the most performance out of it. To be honest, also, that is like a huge goal of mine for this year, is to get to 100 subscribers. We're at 58 right now, and I'd really, really love to get to 100. I actually enjoy trying to reach out to the community and talk to people about motorcycles, about my passion for motorcycles and what I've learned, what I've experienced on a motorcycle, you know. And I'm not always the most positive channel. I sometimes talk shit, like on stuff I don't really like or I don't think is as good as people hype it up to be. But I'm always just trying to be honest with you guys, and I will be honest that if I can get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, I will probably make a Patreon page, and I won't push it in the videos, but it'll be something down in the description in the videos that, like, hey, if you want to contribute, you want to be part of the Patreon, you know, if you want to help, like, be a part of making this bike into a performance bagger, you know, more so of a performance bagger, if you want to help me get some Legend suspension, or if you want to help me change out to a better pipe, or you want to help contribute to see me make this bike a real beast, you know, I would really appreciate it, but I'm not going to require it by any means. So let me know your guys' thoughts. You know, I know some people are automatically turned off by the idea of Patreon, but, you know, I would set it literally at like $1 per video I upload, you know. If anything comes out of the Patreon, like if I decide later on to do tiers and stuff, it would be like getting the people that are patrons exclusive content like Blockhead does and like a lot of other people do. You know, if I can organize giveaways possibly in the future, if I have enough patrons and stuff, or if I can do like more like maybe even a Discord server where we can just hang out and chat, maybe shoot the shit. Maybe I'll make exclusive live streams for patrons to join in on, so we can just chat and shoot the shit about different bikes, what we think of certain models. Maybe if, you know, during the time of like the International Motorcycle Show and stuff like that. Oh, that's such a weird feeling. That feeling when you come up over a rise and the momentum is still going like that, and you feel your stomach go, oh! Oh, that's so fun, but it's so scary at the same time. You know, I'm actually, you know, on the side of the channel, I really appreciate all you guys. I really do, because I never really expected this channel to go anywhere. I'm gonna get really heartfelt here in a second, but you know, I've never really been appreciated, like, as far as like my passion for motorcycles. I actually used to get bullied because I had a passion for cars early on. I got bullied for, you know, my passions oftentimes during high school, and people thought I was crazy when I got to senior year of high school, and I said, yeah, you know, I kind of want to have a motorcycle as my first form of transportation. And a lot of people looked at me like I was stupid, like, that's a stupid idea, you won't be able to drive it all year round, and yada yada yada. But those same people nowadays look at my passion for motorcycles and they envy it because they lack passion themselves. This is what I love, and I'm glad you all can stick around or have stuck around and subscribe to the channel and want to keep up and listen to me talk about motorcycles and talk about Harleys, and you know, just gonna keep grinding, and I'm gonna keep making videos, you know, even if it is just random stuff like this where I'm just sitting here on my lazy boy recliner called the Road Glide, and you know, no hands in it like this, and cruising around at 60 miles an hour while fighting a 15 to 20 mile an hour wind out of the south, you know, just, you know, chilling and, you know, shooting the shit. God, I need a better outro. Guys, come up with an outro for me. I don't fucking know what I'm doing when it comes to outros. I'm just super awkward. I have a hard time saying goodbye. That's why I'm married. Fucking weird. Alright guys, anyways, adios. I'm gonna cut off this video now before I do anything more stupid. So, bye!